Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a challenge that, let's be honest, plagues so many modern businesses. How do you turn this overwhelming flood of data into crystal clear insights? We're going to explore how one company, VietDak, built a platform to do just that, to move from total chaos to real clarity. So, does this feel a little familiar? I bet it does. You've got data coming in from your online store, all your physical locations, your social media ads, your delivery partners. It's just coming at you from every direction. The real question is, how on earth do you make sense of it all?
All this data chaos creates some massive headaches. You can't see the full picture of your customer. Not really. Your operations are probably less efficient than they could be. And maybe worst of all, your online and offline stores can feel like two completely separate businesses, which is just a jarring experience for the people you're trying to serve.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into the modern commerce challenge. Then we'll look at the commerce intelligence solution VietDak came up with. We'll peek under the hood at the anatomy of the platform, see how AI delivers some seriously powerful insights, and then we'll wrap it all up by looking at the strategic value of building a data-driven future.
All right, first up, let's define the core problem. What's the reality of trying to manage an omnichannel business right now, today?
And here is the fundamental tension, right? On one hand, you have the dream, this perfectly seamless customer journey. Buy online, return in store, earn loyalty points absolutely everywhere. But then you have the reality for the business, just a tangled mess of data that makes that dream feel almost impossible to achieve. So how do you even begin to fix this? Well, you introduce a central brain to bring some order to all that chaos. Let's take a look at what that actually means. So, the formal definition is a unified data and AI system. But honestly, I like to think of it more like a central nervous system. It connects to everything: sales, marketing, operations, and it gives every part of the business a single source of truth to work from. The original documentation from VietDak actually calls it a smart commerce analytics platform. And that word smart is really the key here. This isn't just about passively collecting data. It's about making that data actively work for you. So what this really breaks down into are these 5 pillars of control that a platform like this gives you. You get a super clear view of your financials, a much deeper understanding of your customers, real insights to improve your products, concrete ways to measure performance, and finally, a real sense of mastery over your omnichannel operations. So how does a platform like this actually work its magic? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the fundamental building blocks. Right. Before you can have any kind of intelligence, you need information. It all starts by collecting and organizing the raw data into what the system calls core entities. And this is brilliant because it really illustrates those building blocks. These are basically the nouns of any commerce business, right? You have a customer who buys a product in an order. They do it either from a physical branch or an online channel. Maybe they use a promotion and a certain payment method. And it's all facilitated by your sales staff. By standardizing these concepts, the platform can finally start connecting all the dots. But look, collecting data is just step one. The real challenge is turning that mountain of information into clear signals. With all this data, how do you measure what's actually important for the health of your business? This table is fantastic because it shows us exactly how that happens. You take a dimension, which is just a fancy way of saying how you want to slice your data, like by sales channel or customer group, and you link it to a core KPI, or key performance indicator, which is what you measure. So you're not just looking at overall revenue anymore. You're looking at revenue by branch. You're not just counting customers, you're calculating their lifetime value. This is how raw data becomes business insight. Okay, let's move on and see how this builds, because simply measuring what happened in the past is useful, sure, but it's not the end game. The real power-up comes when you add artificial intelligence to the mix. And here's the game-changing leap. Standard analytics tells you what happened last quarter. AI, on the other hand, tells you what's likely to happen next quarter. And, this is crucial, suggests what you should probably do about it. It's a shift from being reactive to being proactive. And it fundamentally changes your relationship with your customers from just fulfilling needs to actually anticipating them. And these aren't just, abstract tech concepts. They are incredibly practical tools. AI can power a recommendation engine so every single customer sees the products they're most likely to buy. It can forecast demand so you don't run out of your best-selling items. It can even identify which customers might be about to leave so you can step in with an offer to win them back. So, we've seen the problem, the solution, the anatomy, and the AI. Let's zoom all the way out now and look at the big picture. What is the ultimate strategic value of putting all of this together? The platform's true genius is that it acts like a universal translator. It connects all of your internal systems, your cash registers, your customer database, your accounting software, and it speaks the same language as the huge external ecosystem where you operate, like marketplaces, ad platforms, and your logistics partners. It's the bridge between your world and your customer's world. And when that bridge is built, this is the result. You get perfectly synchronized data. You get this profound understanding of your customers. You optimize not just for revenue, but for profit. And by making your own operations more efficient, you deliver a massively enhanced experience for the one person that matters most, your customer. The source document sums up the entire strategic goal in this one powerful line. It translates to position VietDak to become a data-driven commerce and service group. That's the destination, right? Not just a company that uses data, but a company whose every single decision is driven by it. And this really leaves us with one final crucial question. This isn't just about one company's journey. The principles we've talked about, unifying data, applying intelligence, and focusing on the customer, are reshaping every single industry out there. The only question left is, are you ready?